Most people stuck on a decision aren't waiting for the right time. They're just scared. And every day you let fear control you, the gap between who you are and who you want to be gets wider. 3 days camping was all it took to show me exactly what I'd been lying to myself about. For the past few months, my mornings have begun the same way. I'm wide awake before my alarm, heart already racing, not because I was excited, but because I knew what was coming. I recently started a new job, and within weeks, something felt off. I was constantly having nightmares about work, the kind where you wake up feeling panicked, and it takes you a few seconds to realize that it's not real. At work, I constantly opened Slack to another message saying that somebody else was no longer part of the organization. No context, just gone. And this kept happening. At home, Wendy would be talking to me, and I wouldn't hear a single word. I was physically present, but mentally, I was still stuck at work. I kept telling myself that this was temporary. Every job has rough patches, and I just needed to push through. But months went by, and nothing changed. The only thing that did change was me, and not in a good way. Then I went camping, and for the first time in months, I was forced to stop. 3 days, no signal, no emails, just silence. That first day, I couldn't switch off. I caught myself checking my phone constantly, searching for distraction. I was sitting by the fire, but still consumed with thoughts about work. But somewhere on the second day, something shifted. I woke up to birds singing instead of anxiousness. I sat by the fire for an hour and didn't reach for anything. No phone, no thoughts about work, just the fire. And that feeling, that stillness, I realized I hadn't felt it in months. Then I started thinking about going back to work. Just the thought of it made my chest tighten. I tried to reason with myself. Every job has rough patches. I'd figure it out. I just needed more time. But sitting out there with nothing to distract me, these excuses felt weak for the first time. I was worried about how it would look on my resume, worried about what my parents would think, worried about money, worried that I wouldn't find anything else. I had an answer for every question, except the one that actually mattered. Was I really happy? The closer my return date back to work got, the heavier I felt. And I knew I'd been calling this patience, but it wasn't patience. It was fear. And I had a decision to make. First day back after the Christmas break, I told myself I'd go in one last time and see how it felt. Not a dramatic gesture, just one more day. When I woke up for work that morning, the feeling was back. That same familiar, anxious feeling before I even left the house. I got to the office that day and started catching up with some of my colleagues about their Christmas break. One of them told me that he'd been having this same anxious feeling and the same nightmares that I'd been having. I heard that exact same story from 2 other people within the first hour. I looked around the room and I realized that we were all doing the same thing. We were staying. Not because we wanted to, but because we were scared. And that's when I realized I could stay for a few more months and hope that something changed, or I could stop pretending that hope was a strategy. So I quit. And for the first time in months, I felt like myself again. I'm not telling you to quit your job. That was the right decision for me, made after months of sitting with it. Here's what this experience taught me. Fear doesn't always look like fear. Sometimes it's disguised as patience, or practicality, or just not the right time. But I want you to be honest with yourself. How many decisions are you putting off right now because of fear? This camping trip didn't help me confront my fears, but it did help me see them clearly. Fear doesn't just affect one decision, it compounds. And by the time you notice, you've lost years, not days. There's one mistake I made in my 20s that I didn't even realize was a mistake until it was too late. Watch this video where I explain what that mistake was and the one shift that helped me stop repeating it.